Okay, we will work on some wheel variations, like moving through all the sections of the spine and some side bends today. But we'll start nice and easy with a comfortable seated position and just rolling through your spine in a big circle. See if you can meet each part of your spine. Draw big and smaller circles to just warm up. Also go the other way. So if you feel any part of your spine a bit stuck, try to breathe into that space. Now we round our spine and lift our heart and chest forward. It might be helpful to kind of hold a bit onto your knees to sink more back in your spine. And as you drag forward, to pull a bit and bend the arms. And let's get the knees out to the front, just to shake the legs right and left. And then come sitting on our heels. And we'll bring the right arm down and left arm overhead. You can bend the right elbow towards the hip and reach diagonal over. Reach up tall, left arm to the side, elbow bends, reach far over. We do a few of those. Use your exhale to go into your side bend. The inhale to lift and come up. One more time on each side. Try to still keep the connection of the sitting bones to the heels, just using the rib cage. Other side. Very nice. We'll bring it down onto our forearms. And as I said in the beginning of class, we want to section off the spine, and we'll start with our head and neck. So make sure the elbows are in one line with the shoulders, and you want to rotate the shoulders down and back, so not hiking up. Keep the length in the chest. Now we'll just reach with the head up and over the back, and bring the chin to the chest. Nothing else changes in your spine. Keep the length in the neck, so try not to crunch. Imagine someone is pulling your head front the whole time as you go up and down. One more time. And stay in a neutral position. We're bringing the head over to the right shoulder, half circle through the front and over to the left. One more time each side. Go slow, keep the length in the neck. Bring the forehead onto the hands for a moment. Release the whole spine. Next time we come up onto our forearms, we work into the mid back. So still neck nice and long, lower back as well. And we'll try to push into the elbows and try to just round the upper back. And then we are reaching with the chest forward, and it feels like I'm pulling my elbows close to my chest to drag the chest forward. Few more. Keep the belly button on the ground. Reach and drag the chest forward. Feel the shoulder blades squeezing together. And as you push into the elbows, only round till your belly button is still connected to the ground. Last one. And walk the hands a little more forward. We still keep the belly button connected to the ground. We'll just try to straighten out our elbows, still focusing on the mid back. And as you lower the elbows, think of dragging your chest in between your elbows. Two more times. Extend the arms, drag the elbows down and chest in between your hands. Last one. And then one more time, lay all the way down. Maybe shimmy the hips from side to side and let that rocking motion relax the whole spine. Now, finally, into the whole spine. We'll still come back onto our elbows. The feet can be hip width apart or all the way together. Now, we push in the elbows to lift and round the whole spine. As we go forward, we bring the chest, head back, everything that feels good. Exhale to push, lift off the ground, the knees stay down. Inhale to lengthen. And we'll do one more. And then one more time, reach out nice and long with the arms forward and the legs stretch in opposite direction. Bring the hands under the shoulders so you can come into a tabletop position. In your tabletop, you want to bring your left shoulder and your left hip and your right shoulder and your right hip towards one another. So if we open the side body a little more dynamically, but same idea like in the beginning, we want to use our exhale to connect the rib and the hip. And this is the same later in side bends. If we're thinking about handstands, if we're leaning to the side, we want to use that exhale to create that connection. From here, we go into a lunge. So let's start with the right leg forward, left leg back. And you can use the support of the hands to go a few times from your half split to your low lunge. Think of pulling your legs in a parallel position forward and back. Keep the legs close to the body and the hips low to the ground. Then we come up into our low lunge. We'll just include the spine a bit here as well. So right now my thumbs are facing towards my body. As I'm reaching the thumbs up and back, I want to kind of roll my arms and chest open to the ceiling and then back forward. So we use the arms to lift the collarbones high. And as we exhale, we come back to neutral, let everything soften. Two more times. Reaching the thumbs back, collarbones high. Exhale, release. Last one. And come back forward with the hands. Straighten out your right leg. And I'm just going to turn, but you can just turn in a way that you don't need to arrange your space. We turn with the leg open to the side, so you have one straight line from your shoulder to the knee, and the foot is in one line with your knee. You reach the left arm up and lean towards your straight leg. Think of what I said just a minute ago. The shoulder and the hip want to connect by using your exhale. Maybe it's helpful to have like your hand on your rib and inviting your exhale to soften in that space. Now we'll come back up. The left hand comes down. Now we want to reach the right arm and the right leg back, and then we connect it. Right elbow to right knee. Reach out long and connect. Just one more. Reach out long, stabilize, and connect. Come back to neutral position in your tabletop. Just do a moment of puppy pose, reaching the arms forward and the chest low. See if your neck is nice and long. Try to go back to the beginning. Now let's lift the head slightly, hover above the floor. See how the length in your neck impacts the thoracic spine. And release. One more. Lift the head and neck just slightly and release. Now forehead or chin can stay down. Now we want to kind of round the mid back and bring the mid back down to the ground. So arch and hollow just in the thoracic spine. And then stay flat in the thoracic spine, just the hip and the lower back sticking out and rounding. Maybe it's so tiny that you can't see it from the outside. And release. Bring it back into your tabletop. We'll step the left foot forward. We'll move between low lunge and half split a few times to just open the side. See how low you can keep the hips and imagine your legs really stay in one line as you move forward and back. Next time you're forward in your low lunge, we'll come up so shoulders and hips are in one line. Arms hang down to the side, thumbs facing towards the body. As we open the chest towards the ceiling, the thumbs move back. As we close and exhale, the arms relax. Two more times. Lift and open. And back to neutral. One more. We'll turn so our left leg is out long and our right leg wants to be in one line with the hip and shoulder. Right arm reaches over to the left leg, nice and long. Maybe on the other side, you also grabbed your rib to invite the connection of the rib and hip. Breathing into the stretch. Bring it back up. Right hand goes down to the floor, left arm up, left leg lifts. We connect left elbow, knee, and crunch the opposite way. Using the pulling of the knee and elbow to also shorten the side, but a little bit more active. Last one. And bring it back. We'll come back to our tabletop. And we'll just go into a down dog and using a down dog to bring our right knee into a pigeon on the side. Similar to what we did in the low lunge, but now we're trying to do it in our pigeon. So the thumb's inside, and I'm rolling my thumbs up to the ceiling and the collarbones high. And then you can come back forward. Just two more. Inhale to lift, collarbones high. And exhale to release. Last one. And now we roll over to our right hip. Gonna turn so you can see better. So the right foot is inside. Any position that's comfortable for your knee. You can also have support sitting on a block or supporting your knee. The left foot is pointed out. The left arm reaches forward. That reaching forward with the arm also invites the rib cage to rotate a bit forward, and we want that to stack our shoulders on top. For this one, I don't want you to reach for the leg because it closes. I want you to think of keep reaching the chest forward and reaching far away with this arm. So uncomfortable, you could also have some block support the weight. And rotate all the way up. Your right hand stays down. You push into the knee to just open the side you just closed, reaching far back, getting the chest open as well. From here, we sit back down and roll over to come back into down dog. Take a moment to straighten out your spine. And then left leg comes into your pigeon. You're always free to take that extra moment to straighten out your position. My side tends to cheat a lot more for me, so I need a little longer. And we do our three lifts, reaching the thumbs towards the ceiling, collarbones high, and exhale, release. Inhale to lift, and exhale to release. One more. As we go forward, we can open to the side. Left foot comes in and left knee is out. Right arm reaches forward, left arm overhead. Think of really using this arm to pull your chest forward as you go to the side. Then use your breath. Keep the rotation of the chest parallel to the front. Looks really nice. And use your next breath to come back up. Left hand and left knee pushing down, right arm reaching up and over. It's like half circle motion to push the hips and chest to the front. Exhale to release. And then you can bring both legs forward and just stay seated. And we just want you to wipe the knees from right to left a few times. And let's keep the knees to the left and put your left foot on top of the right knee to get that diagonal stretch. Often the right shoulder tends to roll front, but we roll it back to lift the chest and collarbone high. And release the side. Couple more windshield wipers before we do the other side. Your knees stay to the right leg on top. Rotate that shoulder back, let the knee go towards the ground. Breathing the collarbone up. Just release. Let's take a straddle that's a little wider than hip width apart, but not so wide that you feel the outer glutes. And you still want to be able to kind of twist diagonal, and that can have different forms. You can grab onto the knee, you can grab onto the shin, but the idea is that we'll get the shoulders parallel, stacked, that right arm reaches up. The neck can be nice and long, maybe slightly looking up to the ceiling. Doesn't matter where you grab to create that stack. Reach it back up and just go over to the other side. And similar what I said in the side bend here, it also helps to kind of bend the lower arm a little bit to keep the chest moving forward and the shoulders into the stack. And release nice and slow. Let's get the toes together and just with your elbows, you can kind of lean a bit from side to side to open the inner groin. You can also see and play if it feels good if you scoop your hips a little closer or if you like to have it a little further. We all have different tips, so it feels different for everyone. Still chest long, neck long. And from here, we go into our half frog. It looks like this. The knee is in one line with your heel, and the leg is out. And support, you can do it on your forearms, you can do it on your hands. What I want you to avoid is that when we lean in, we kind of dump the weight in the lower back. So keep that lower back nice and long as you go down and forward to any degree. You want to keep an engagement in your left leg, especially in the quads to protect the knee. To use your breath to relax the inner groin and the outer glutes. Maybe bit by bit, your body can sink a little deeper into the stretch. Especially if you're working on middle splits, this is a nice way to do one leg at a time and maybe take some intensity out. Use your hands. Come so much up that you can now sit on your hips again. I'm going to show the front for this one. The heel wants to be back towards the glute, and we want to get our left hand under it. You can kind of squeeze it between your heel and your thigh. So we have kind of like an anchor as we lean to the side. And you can also like use a block under your head, or if you feel like you need more support somewhere for your hand, you can stack them up. But now we really want to get that shoulder inside of the leg. I also like to do this with my arm kind of long because if I just bring it down to the foot, I'm closing my chest. And for handstands, I always want to keep that space open so I wouldn't twist to one shoulder in my handstand. And use the top arm to bring yourself back up. Get the legs to the front and just shake them out for a moment. We'll do the other side, aligning your heel and your knee in one line, and the other leg in one line. Doesn't really it's not really so important if you point or flex the foot in the straight leg because both of them have engagement in your quads, but choose either to protect your knee. And see how your body feels on this side. Give it the same attention and the other side. Take some breath to release the tension you feel. Then we use our hands to come into the position where the heel is towards the glutes. The knee angle can also be adjusted, right? It can be more forward or more back, depending on your flexibility. You get your right hand underneath and squeeze it between your thigh and calf. So it's a bit easier to get that right shoulder inside and reaching that left arm up and over. One breath at a time. Reaching the top arm up, getting the arm out from underneath, freeing your left leg. Using the bend of the legs to kind of roll back into a rounded spine, using the opening of the knee to open your chest. So more like that to just neutralize the spine. See, especially when you round back, can you get that rounding all the way to the head and neck, releasing the neck? Same on the way up. Can you bring the lower back, the mid back, and the head back? Now we'll come back to our lunge, and it is nice if you have blocks because it will make it a little easier to work for me personally into the sides. As we don't have the blocks, we tend to just compensate to touch the floor. So we will start with the right leg forward. The blocks are on either side of the hip. It takes some time to find your good hip alignment. So now we want to work into the sides, and you choose whichever height feels good, but we want to keep the shoulder and the hip aligned. We don't want to go too much forward because that's what we want to do in handstands as well. So the left arm lifts up, and we'll just go to the side as much as it feels good, and then slightly towards the back. And we move a few times from the side towards the back. I'm gonna show it from the front as well. Have both views, with the arm up, and just going to the side, feeling that hip to rib alignment, and then just lifting slightly from the collarbone. It doesn't have to be a deep back bend. We kind of want to use the weight of the arm to kind of floss the side. You should feel it going down towards the hip. And bring that arm down. And we want to go to the other side, reaching the right arm up. And now we're just staying to the side, making sure that the hip and shoulder doesn't come with us. So I really have to put this hip in as I'm reaching with the arm over. And then bring it back. And straighten out the right leg. And cross it over the left. But here too, I need to be aware that I'm not just twisting my hip. I'm going to try to keep my hip in one line and reaching diagonal over with the body. Keep that hip hugging in. Nice. See if you can point that foot towards the ground and flex it towards the nose. One more time, point it down to the ground and flex it. Nice. Bring both hands forward and just relax over your straight leg. One deep breath. And then we switch sides. Left leg steps forward, finding your lunge on the side. And the lunge only has to be as steep as you feel like you can still move, like you saw on the first side. Blocks to the side if you like. we will reach the right arm up and go to the side as much as our body allows us. And then we use the going to the side to slightly go back and to the side. Imagine someone is here behind the shoulder on the back, reaching that shoulder into the back to lift your chest high. Especially if we go up and over, nice to exhale. Stay in the center for a moment. See if your knee is still in line. This one tends to go out for me a lot. And then we reach the left arm up and go to the other side. Only to the side. On the side. Bring it back up. Straightening the left leg out long. Take a moment to really feel the hips square. And then with the spine long, we go diagonal over and work on pointing towards the ground and flexing towards the nose. Can feel a bit nervy in the leg. Keep that chest going towards the knee. Bring it back and lean over your left leg. One long deep breath. Get all the way up. Give you a little moment for your knees. So let's stand up before we bring it back to the knees. I always find it quite intense to just stay on the knees for so long. We want to bring our hands into the wall. Maybe I'll bring you to the side that you can see better. But I think all of you know this variation. Start with the hands on the height of the shoulders. As you push the hips back, make sure the legs are in one line with your hips. Now we do the same exercise from the beginning. You just try to reach the head and neck up. And with your exhale, release. One more. Head and neck lift, but long neck. And release. Neck stays long. Now we bring it into the mid spine, thoracic spine, rounding a bit and letting go. One more, rounding a bit. Only the mid spine and letting go. Now this one, be gentle on your lower back. You can drop the belly button down so the hips hike up, and then you tuck the pelvis under so the lower back lengthens. One more, let the belly drop. You feel a bit more weight in the shoulders, and then neutralize the spine. And bring it back up. It's a really nice way. You can use all these exercises to feel each part of your spine and also feel where your body naturally needs a little bit more work. Now for the next one, we need a wall, and we will bring our knee back towards the wall. Have padding for your knee, and the heel is on my glute for that quad stretch. And you really want to have your knee comfortable, otherwise you never want to do the stretch. What tends to happen is also here, the lower back is quite long, so hug the belly in. That increases the stretch down. So you want to bring everything back, ideally. If I would reach up my arm, the back of my arm, my ribs, everything wants to go towards the back wall. With that connection towards the back wall, the left hand goes to the inside if the right leg is back. And we use the side bend here as well, but also the pressure on the inside of the arm to let the length travel all the way down to the knee. And release. Now let's bring that knee like a block forward. So you're in kind of a lower lunge with the knee more forward. The heel is still back on the wall or the foot. And you can just stay here and kind of use the push into the wall to get the front hip lower. If you like, you can also reach back and try to do what we did earlier, thinking of reaching the chest high. So I don't want you to go so low with the head and chest. I want you to kind of use the wall to push away from the wall and make a really long body and spine. And release the side. Sit for a moment on your glutes. Roll out your knees. Give a little gentle massage on the knees before we do the other side. Roll out your ankles. When my partner is doing that stretch with the wall, he feels actually the foot, the top of the foot, the most. And it might be also helpful to put another pillow for your foot on the wall. So really figure out what you felt last time to make it even more comfortable on this side. We will step with left knee back as close as possible to the wall, but still be able to come back up and seeing that your hips are facing forward. And take your spine as much back as your body allows you. Sucking the navel into the spine, lifting the left arm up, right arm on the inside. So you can gently lean over. Even if the whole spine isn't touching the wall, imagine you want to go towards that. It will increase also the stretch in your quad a lot. One more deep breath here. Neutralize the spine. And you can use your hands, your blocks to get the knee good amount forward. So you're in a lower lunge. The foot has a little bit more space, but you want to keep the foot pushing into the wall. Maybe you stay here. You can support the front knee so it doesn't go out. Or if you did on the other side, reaching for the wall, but thinking of getting long. Lifting the collarbones to the ceiling. Trying to take time on the way out. Stand up, shake out your legs. Just give me everything. We'll go for a moment towards the bridges. And I want to work similar to the Sphinx pose in the beginning, that we section off each part of our spine. And we do need a wall for that because it feels a lot nicer on the spine. Use the wall. So with the wall, let's start with the hands on the height of the shoulders. And you can walk as much forward as you need to kind of create that rotation with the collarbone up and lifting high instead of just dumping the weight in the lower back. So the height of the shoulders is here, and I really want to not hang back here and bend. I want to go with the chest up like someone would push me in just behind my thoracic spine to keep that part lifted. And it might be also helpful to kind of go in and out of it a bit, like bending And trying to extending, maybe even coming onto the toes and releasing. Yeah, take a few breaths. It should feel as comfortable. You can walk forward, as comfortable as backbends can be. But you always want to be able to breathe, and you should always have enough energy to come out. Take a little moment to rest. We just tap the front and back. Mentioned that a lot also in the handstand classes that we kind of want to think with our thoracic spine, because if we close too much, it's actually really hard to use the whole shoulder. So we always want to keep that rotation with the shoulders back and lifting the collarbones high. And it's actually the same in back bends. Now we want to go a little bit deeper. And you could do this with the wall, meaning you just bring your hands from shoulder height a little lower. You can step more forward again. Or if you have, don't know, a couple blocks, or I have like a box or a bed that you can use, you could also use that to go a little lower. Definitely feels nice to have something elevated. You can bend your knees, that's totally fine, but you want to keep on working the chest. The lower you go, the more the tendency might be that it goes in your lower back. So if you felt it already on the shoulder height in the lower back, maybe just do another round on the shoulder height. That looks really nice. Keep reaching the collarbones to the ceiling. Yes, nice. And just stay for a couple breaths and then still come out safely. Nice. Here we go for a moment, the other direction. And I actually like to do this with a block in my hand. Can we also roll to just avoid the hands from drifting in or out? So I have the block to avoid that. Elbows are on the height of the shoulders. I'm gonna walk my hands, my feet so much back that I feel my weight is leaning into the shoulder capsule. My head is nice and long, and I'm using the weight of my own body to open the armpits and the shoulders in a slightly different way. So lengthen the chest. Keep a long lower back. The weight should and the work should all be in the shoulders. You should be able to move your head and neck. Make sure the elbows are not sliding out. And release the block. Like I said in the previous round, you could do this on blocks or on a couch or on a bed. We want to elevate the feet for this next round to bring the chest again a little more into the game of the wheel. So you want to put the feet up, the hands next to the ears, and can be a lot higher. If it's higher, it might be even easier for your lower back. You want to lift the hips first. You want to push into the hands and then get your wheel up. Also here, legs can be bent, but if you can, work on straightening them out and maybe bending. If you're quite flexible, you can also work on taking steps in or just one at a time, but play a bit with that different angle that the feet or a little higher. Make sure it's something stable, or even if you use a chair, put it against the wall so you're not sliding off. This looks perfect. Really nice. Really nice. Always make sure you have enough energy to come back down. Nice. We all have different spine alignment, and you might feel that either of the variations we are doing today feels the variation you need for your spine, right? Like I, for example, need a lot more work in my upper spine than my lumbar spine. My lumbar spine is quite flexible, but some other people have different sections of the spine. So for your own practice, just choose the one that you feel like is most beneficial. I said we need a chair um, or something similar. I'll show you first. Maybe you find then what you need. If you have a chair or a feet up, something like that, we want to be able to kind of hold with our hands in the back, and the chair wants to be in the edge or with the edge in the thoracic spine. So we can work a bit on bringing the head back and also letting the hip sink. And you don't want to stay too long. You want to go more in and out of it, using your exhale to drop the head and hips. Inhale to lift back up. Let's do 3 repetitions so it's not too hard on your back. Very nice. Keep the elbows hugging in, like in the previous exercise. Very good. What I like about this exercise is that we can kind of use gravity and the weight of our hip really sinking back, and we don't have to work so hard like in the wheel pose. Very nice. I think you both did at least 5 repetitions. Take a moment to just sit down, maybe move your head from side to side. Um, Come back to the legs. It's kind of switching between the legs and the back. And if you know you need blocks, feel free to take them with you. You can either sit on them, or if you know you need them as a support for your arm, you can use them there. Or if you want to increase your pancake position, you can also put them under your heels. We'll go, first of all, in the stretch to take a moment to arrive. And I want to go a little bit dynamically, just from side to side. And you can do this with the arms down. You can do this diagonal. One arm up and one arm going to the front. Or hardest version with both arms up, going from side to side. Still keeping both sitting bones down. Keeping the straight legs to protect our knees. And then maybe before we go deeper, you can make sure that your feet are in the same line, your hips are grounded. And now let's start with the left side. The left elbow is on the inside or on your block, but you want to imagine that your shoulder is really heavy and can go inside of your leg. You want that other hand to kind of push the thigh towards the ground and feel a stretch between the rib and hip here and ground the side. Similar to what we did in the lunge, you can take the right arm overhead. Now I want you to work between closing the armpit down to the ground, really rotating the armpit up towards the ceiling. Exhale, feel the closing. Inhale to lift and open. One more. And use the top arm to pull you back up. And we'll do the other side. Right elbow on the inside, keeping that right shoulder heavy, heavy down to the ground, using the left to pin your left hip down. Like you give yourself self-adjustment. And reaching that left arm overhead and feel the difference between closed shoulder angle and closed armpit and open shoulder position, open armpit. Two more times. Close, feel the rounding. Lift and open. One more. And release. And bring the legs a little closer. Take them out one more time. Let's find a squat. Also, in your squat, maybe it's nice to have a rolled up mat to have it less on the ankles. We'll go first a few times from like letting our squat be really round and then lifting our chest and spine to have an upright position. So more slouching back, lifting nice and high. Last one. And then I like to do this also with a block, just to have something that gives me a little bit of weight and orientation. You can also do it without the block. Left shoulder on the inside, right arm up. I'm trying to use the rotation of the top arm and the lower arm to get my chest into the rotation. In the gym, I like to do that with a kettlebell. I just feel like the weight helps me to resist and open. Come back to center. Switch a block if you had it, but work that right shoulder inside and then using both arms to get the thoracic spine in one line, stacking the shoulders in one line. And releasing, straightening out the legs. And forward fold, maybe shaking the legs here as well. Let the shaking travel all the way into the hips. And we'll bring it down onto the belly. We'll come back to the beginning into the Sphinx pose. Now the right knee is gonna lift up. Go one more time through the spine, using the head and neck, the chest to draw forward, pushing the belly button down. And then opposite, rounding everything, look towards the belly button. Neutral spine, left hand goes over towards your right knee. Then you can lay down on your left shoulder, reaching that right arm all the way back. Staying for 3 deep breaths in your twist, but keeping the knee down. So your spine can unravel. Reach the right arm overhead. Slide the right back back. Come back to your forearms, and we'll do the same on the other side. Left knee hikes up. One extension of the spine, grow out of each vertebra and lengthen as much up and back. And then around, look towards the navel. Inhale to neutral. Right arm goes through. So round the knee down, and left arm reaches up and back. Imagine that your left arm has a weight that invites the body to move down towards the ground. Get all the way back to center, taking your hands next to your shoulders so you can bring it all the way back into child's pose, reaching the arms forward. See what's comfortable, the knees all the way together, slightly apart. We want to walk the hands over to the right, taking 3 long breaths into the left rib cage and all the work that we did on side bends today. The body open with softness. Walk over the center to the other side. So the right ribs can open, hands are on the left. 3 long breaths here as well. Back to neutral as final exercise. Hold on to your heels. Bring the head down to the mat. And as you lift the hips up, try to ground the mid part of your head and feeling that you can kind of pull a little bit on your arms and shoulders to create length in the spine. And then exhale, release. Take an extra moment to just hang out in child's pose. Let all the movements that we did tonight settle into your body. Just remember that counterbalancing the body and giving some flexibility will help you practice as much as putting in the strength work. I think that's something I find really fascinating about handstands, that it's kind of a perfect balance between strength and flexibility. So it's always worth it to train both. Thank you for your practice tonight and for joining.